If you've been jumping into Marvel Mystic Mayhem and feeling like some fights are way harder than they should be, trust me, you're not alone. This game really rewards smart decisions, especially when it comes to which characters you invest your time and resources into. Team composition matters a lot here, and the truth is, not every hero is built the same. Some characters completely carry your runs, while others look cool but struggle once things get serious. So in this video, we're breaking everything down with a complete Marvel Mystic Mayhem tier list, ranking every character from best to worst. This isn't just about raw power either, it's about who actually helps you progress faster and make battles feel smoother across all modes. Whether you're just starting out or trying to optimize your roster, this tier list will help you figure out which heroes are truly worth upgrading and which ones you can safely skip. Let's get into it. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking characters in Marvel Mystic Mayhem. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Falcon, Man-Thing, and Mr. Negative. Right about now is where reality taps us on the shoulder and says, hey, not every character is a hidden gem. Welcome to the C-tier corner of Marvel Mystic Mayhem, where potential exists in theory, but the effort required makes you question your life choices. These are the characters that constantly ask for help, attention, and backup, and still somehow manage to disappoint. Let us start with Man-Thing. On paper, he looks useful because he can heal allies and weaken enemies at the same time, which sounds like a dream combo. The problem is that his healing is noticeably weaker than Doctor Strange's, so you never really feel safe relying on it. To make things worse, his summoned ally has extremely low health and usually disappears before doing anything meaningful. Unless you already have very strong characters babysitting him, Man-Thing ends up feeling more like emotional support than an actual threat. Then there is Mr. Negative, who really wants to be scary but only under very specific conditions. His damage becomes respectable only when enemies are already weakened, which means you must set the stage perfectly before he can shine. Without those debuffs in place, his attacks feel soft and underwhelming for a fighter-type character. In most fights, you will notice that he spends more time waiting for others to do the work than actually contributing himself. And finally, Falcon, the fastest disappointment in the skies. He boosts your team's defense and moves around the battlefield like he drank 3 energy drinks, which is fun to watch. However, he does not heal. His damage output is almost non-existent, and he cannot take hits at all. Falcon absolutely demands strong teammates to carry the fight while he plays a supporting role. And even then, you might ask yourself why you did not just bring someone who actually punches back. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Black Knight, Doppelganger, Moon Knight, Spider-Man, and Thread. This is that awkward tier where you cannot call these characters bad, but you also cannot pretend they are carrying your team. Welcome to the B tier of Marvel Mystic Mayhem, where everyone is useful as long as someone else is doing the heavy lifting. Think of these heroes as solid side characters who shine best when the main heroes are already on stage. Black Knight is a classic, looks insane with the right friends character. When you pair him with controller heroes that boost his stats, his basic attacks suddenly hit like a truck, and it feels great. The problem is that once you compare his total damage output to other fighters, he starts falling behind. Without constant buffs, Black Knight feels strong in short bursts, but struggles to stay threatening throughout longer fights. Moon Knight brings a surprisingly supportive twist to the fighter role. He increases attack speed for himself and nearby teammates by 30%, which can seriously ramp up team damage. On top of that, his ultimate ability heals him for half of his maximum health, making him much harder to take down in clutch moments. Still, when it comes to raw damage, he simply does not hit as hard as a fighter should, and that keeps him from climbing any higher. Then we have Thread, the clear favorite for anyone obsessed with summons. He specializes in calling in multiple Threadlings that constantly attack enemies and can even buff all summoned units on your team. In a summon-focused setup, Thread feels almost mandatory and fits perfectly into that playstyle. Outside of summon teams, though, his value drops fast, and he starts feeling very niche instead of universally strong. And of course, there is Spider-Man, because Spider-Man never truly leaves the conversation. He covers the battlefield in webs, slowing enemies down for a full 8 seconds, which is actually very annoying in a good way. He also provides buffs to nearby teammates, making him feel supportive and mobile. The issue is that when you compare him to other controller characters, his overall kit just does not feel impactful enough, and he ends up being helpful rather than memorable. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right: Angela, Armor, Dream Queen, Echo, Gambit, Hulk, Human Torch, Lady Bullseye, Loki, Mr. Fantastic, Misty Knight, Moon Girl, Psylocke, Sentry, Sleepwalker, Storm, The Thing, and Daredevil. This is the tier where things start feeling really good, the point where you stop apologizing for your picks and start trusting your roster. The A tier in Marvel Mystic Mayhem is full of characters that absolutely deliver, even if they miss that one unfair trick that defines the S tier monsters. Think of these heroes as almost broken, just politely balanced. Let us get the obvious one out of the way first. Hulk. Hulk is Hulk, and honestly that says a lot by itself. He can soak up damage like a walking brick wall while still punching hard enough to matter in every fight. He is not the absolute best at shielding the team compared to Armor, but if you just need a tank who refuses to go down, Hulk never disappoints. Speaking of Armor, she is one of the best starting tanks you could ever ask for. Her Beast Armor ability boosts her attack speed and turns her normal attacks into full area hits, which feels amazing early on. Combine that with her Ancestral Armor shield, and suddenly Armor feels almost immortal. She protects the team, deals damage, and makes missions way easier than they should be. Sleepwalker is the unsung hero of free-to-play players everywhere. His healing output is surprisingly strong for such a basic character, and that alone makes him incredibly valuable. Early game and even mid-game, he holds teams together without needing fancy upgrades. If premium healers are not an option, Sleepwalker carries that role like a champ. Then there is Psylocke, who plays like she is constantly late for another fight. She moves fast, deals burst damage, and marks enemies as she attacks. Once marked enemies get hit by her normal attacks, they explode for bonus damage, which is just very satisfying. Give her critical damage items, and she becomes dangerous in literally any team composition. Echo is one of those characters that quietly breaks the rules. She copies the attack value of the hardest hitting teammate on your roster, which means she can stand on the front line and still throw out massive numbers. On top of that, her follow-up attacks on debuffed enemies feel like free damage. In follow-up focused team setups, Echo fits perfectly as a frontline menace. Loki brings chaos, tricks, and a bit of frustration for your enemies. He deals respectable damage, freezes targets, and summons a unit that taunts enemies away from your team. The downside is that he does not heal or shield the team like a proper controller should. That missing utility is the only thing keeping Loki from jumping into the S-tier spotlight. Angela is all about turning defense into pain. She stacks incoming damage, and the more attacks she blocks, the harder her counterattacks hit back. This makes her incredibly annoying to fight against and very satisfying to use. She is tanky, stubborn, and still capable of punishing enemies who underestimate her. Lady Bullseye is beginner-friendly in the best way possible and somehow stays relevant forever. When paired with Spider-Man or Psylocke, she creates chain attacks that just keep going and going. Even without ideal partners, she does her job flawlessly and never feels like a weak link. She is the definition of reliable. And finally, Storm rounds out the A tier with a slightly different approach. Instead of focusing on raw striker damage, she specializes in weakening enemies through freezing and soaking effects. This makes enemies slower, weaker, and much easier to deal with, assuming your team can finish them off. Storm shines with the right teammates, but without strong damage dealers, her impact can feel muted. The characters in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Captain America, Doctor Strange, Emma Frost, Invisible Woman, Iron Man, Juggernaut, Namor, Scarlet Witch, Thor, Silver Surfer, and Magneto. Alright, let's talk about the creme de la creme of Marvel Mystic Mayhem. The S tier is where the game gets truly fun. These are the characters you spend resources on without regret. The ones that make fights feel downright unfair for your opponents. If you see one of these in your roster, congratulations. You basically hold the keys to victory. First up, Captain America. This guy is everything you want in a leader. Supportive, strong, and reliable. He buffs teammates, boosts their performance, and can hold his own on the front lines. High mobility, fast attacks, solid durability. He's basically a Swiss Army knife. No wonder he dominates high-rank raids. He's consistently topping the charts and for good reason. Doctor Strange is your ultimate healer. His Vishanti's Blessing skill lets you choose between healing, buffing allies, or weakening enemies, whatever your team desperately needs. His special move heals more than almost any other character in the game, making him practically essential for keeping your team alive. If you don't have him maxed, you're missing a huge part of your strategy. Emma Frost is the ultimate multitasker. Healing, boosting team damage, dealing damage herself, and weakening enemies all at once. She practically plays like two characters in one. Her Diamond Shard attack amps up your whole team's output, and honestly, some players argue she might be a little too strong right now. Unlocking her instantly makes your battles feel way smoother. Magneto, the Master of Magnetism, is next. One of the newer characters, but already a legend. He's a strategist capable of dishing out insane damage through constant ultimate spamming, while also buffing allies and debuffing enemies. In every type of fight, he makes your life so much easier, which is exactly why he's an S-tier pick. Iron Man is pure chaos in armor form. He hits hard, moves around the battlefield effortlessly, and his passive skill ignores enemy defenses, which is just insane. His ultimate ability hits a wide area for massive damage, making him perfect if you want to decimate groups of enemies in one go. Simply put, he's a game changer. Scarlet Witch focuses on obliterating single targets like nobody else. Her ultimate is one of the most powerful damage moves in the entire game. The catch? She needs buffs first to reach her full potential and doesn't have a ton of health, so timing is everything. When used right though, she melts enemies in seconds. Juggernaut, or Juggy as fans call him, takes a bit to ramp up, but is worth every second. Once upgraded, he gets a taunt ability that forces enemies to attack him instead of your squishier teammates. Fully leveled, he can literally be the best tank in the game, absorbing hits while your team cleans up the damage. Thor, the God of Thunder, deals insane area damage with his ultimate and chain lightning. His dash lets him jump around the battlefield while still hitting hard. If you pull him, make him your main fighter. He brings both style and raw power to every fight. Invisible Woman is the queen of protection. She shields and hides your teammates while also weakening enemies, so your team's ultimate moves hit even harder. Pair her with Thor or Iron Man, and you can literally watch enemies disappear in seconds. She's strategic, versatile, and absolutely deadly in the right setup. Silver Surfer is similar to Iron Man but focuses on special damage instead of physical. His area of effect skills can clear groups of enemies effortlessly, and his passive stacks up to 4 times after using abilities, making him more and more dangerous as fights drag on. He's a perfect blend of power and consistency. Finally, Namor rounds out the S tier with incredible versatility. His damage output is solid, he can shield teammates for extra survivability, and his ability to ignore enemy shields gives him a major edge against defensive foes. A truly fantastic addition to any team composition, Namor is a must-have if you want both offense and defense covered. These are the S-tier champions. If you manage to get most of them, your Mystic Mayhem experience basically turns into a masterclass in domination. Each of these characters can single-handedly swing fights in your favor. And honestly, building a team around even a few of them feels downright unfair for your opponents. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.